Hi everyone and welcome back to PAPAtv Live. We had some quick technical issues that we were just working through, so I hope you'll forgive us. We're going to actually move directly into the games that we're playing tonight. And Pete Hendricks has joined us on the microphone. Hi Pete.
Hi John, hi Priyanka.
Hi.
Pete, you have some keys to tell us about on how to play Aerosmith, the new Stern game.
Yes I do. Aerosmith, the recent Stern game. The keys to the game, super hits. Like many Stern games, there are tons of modes. In this case, there are songs. Each song has different shots to go to complete it, and they have a crank it up mode, with each crank it up being different. You can use these to get super features and get things towards good scoring progress. There are also two big multi-balls in the game. One toy cars. You hit the toy box many times, and that will light the lock for each. And then there's a scoop to the right. If you put it in that scoop up to anywhere from 3 to 6 times, you can get a multi-ball.
Why, hello, Mr. Hendricks. Going down.
That's the next multi-ball, actually. Elevator multi-ball. Hit each loop once, and that'll light the lock at the elevator. Do that 3 times, and you get the elevator multi-ball. Each shot. Shot for a jackpot, then the elevator for the jackpot, and hopefully Fred will show us many of these in his gameplay today.
So great, thanks Pete. So that's how you play Aerosmith. I don't know. It's pretty simple. Fred's going to show us how it's done, and he's going to crush it.
Actually, if you want to see people play Aerosmith well, go back to the New York City Pinball Championship footage and watch John and Bowen just destroy that game. So, but it'll be fun. We'll see if I can do it.
You can do it, man. I have faith in you. So let's. He starts with Last Child.
I like orbits. I like shooting orbits.
So if you start with Last Child, should you full plunge it? Because that's what he did.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, there's nothing wrong. If you try to do a soft full plunge, it's actually not a bad decision because that way you might get credit for the left elevator shot, which would give you some extra points there.
And progress towards
Yeah,
Oh,
possibly more importantly.
Here's where bad things happen.
Oh, that was a power in lane. Okay.
Oh.
We're not going to have any trouble building a ramp tomorrow because Fred's going to build all the bricks tonight.
That's funny, John.
Oh.
There you go.
I liked that one. I thought that was pretty good. I mean, I don't know. So, stepping up next is Jake. Jake has some redemption on Aerosmith. Because Jake just always has redemption he needs to do on Aerosmith. And he's choosing to walk this way.
This is one of the 2 modes I like starting with as well. Either walk this way or same old song and dance.
I actually agree with you, Pete. I tend to start with walk this way because it starts with the center ramp shot, and I also love getting super ramps lit. So I want that for my multi-balls when I eventually get to them.
Yeah, you can really get a lot of points quickly with this game, or this mode specifically.
I was told by some other top-level players that starting with walk this way is not a good decision, and the reason they don't start with it is because it is a good mode that you can grind out if you find yourself in Aerosmith jail. Aerosmith jail takes place after you have gotten maybe the second toy box multi-ball, where you would have to hit the toy box 3 times to light each lock, and that's basically you're in jail. So probably the best way to score points at that point would be just grind out walk this way for as many points as you can. Pri, what's your mode of choice when you're stepping up to Aerosmith?
What is it? Rats in the Cellar? That's the spinner shot?
Yeah.
I usually go for simple spinners, and I normally don't choose walk this way first. I would choose maybe Rats in the Cellar, then walk this way after that. Honestly, I've had to play this in tournaments, but I don't really get to see it that often, on location. So I do have less experience on this one.
Yeah, we both had the privilege of playing this in the pin golf tournament out in Vegas, and it was really interesting seeing the strategies that people were using to get the 40 million point goal.
Was it everybody was
40
trying to
million.
go for extra ball, right?
Yeah, it was
15 million, right?
It
Yeah.
was, yeah, that's that was the way to go.
So that would be to get extra ball lit. I think you have to do 2 modes, if I remember right. And so Evan will be, if he can hit the scoop, he'll be able to start his second song.
There's so many posts in this game. I mean, if you don't make shots, the return is pretty deadly.
I am a big fan of this game. I actually really like it. It's not super complex. It's definitely not one of the deep Sterns. But I really just like the geometry of it for whatever reason. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about this.
Yeah, this is one of those games that can be really frustrating with the geometry, but it's one that it'll beat me up, and but I'll come back and play it again. It's frustrating,
Yes,
but
I
it's
did.
fun.
I think it's just so it's so difficult. It's difficult for me that I'm like always like wanting more, but then like this is one of the games where my heart is beating really fast, and I'm just trying to stay as alert as possible. Because if I can feel myself like getting too loose, then I'll miss it.
Fred just did something really good. He actually plunged the lock shot. So there's a skill shot you can take sort of halfway up there, and it'll fall into the lock shot.
Yeah.
Which is,
Right here.
actually, it comes in from the top.
But it like
Yeah,
it
it
comes
sort of trickles down. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Oh, he was shooting for a new song. Oh, and he gets a bounce in for the lock. That's a great thing.
So John, how many locks will you go like before you take multi-ball?
It depends on the situation, but I want 6. So you can take a multi-ball at 3 balls locked, or you can go try to get greedy and get more. When
How do you abort?
You hit the action button that's right in the middle of the lockdown bar on the front of the machine. And that's what Fred did here. So Fred has taken a risk. Now, if he doesn't get another locklet and lock it, he gets nothing during that game. So it's sort of it's a risk reward.
Mm-hmm.
So you get more balls if you get more toy boxes. So right now you would have a 3-ball multi-ball. If he gets another one, it'll be a 4. If you get a 6, that's a 6-ball multi-ball, but it also increases the value of all the jackpots. And so if you want to get a truly massive score, you want to get either 5 or 6. Probably 6.
It's a lot of patience though.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
patience, and yeah.
Especially, I mean, I remember in Vegas, I didn't see anybody take a 6-ball multi-ball because there was no ball save. It was playing really hard.
Yeah, when 40 million is your goal, you just want to get to multi-ball and hopefully grind it out.
Whoa!
Oh, nice
Whoa.
Lazarus there. Now, the way we have this game set up as an interesting thing, we actually have the toy box enabled. So when Fred was getting the locks, his balls were shot into the toy box, and he was getting plunges. When Jake locked his first ball, since there were already balls in the toy box, it closed, and Jake had to survive the random throw off of the head of the guy.
And that's a big deal. That's not a guaranteed you're getting the ball back after that. Uh-oh, super ramps are active at 1,050,000 points per shot. And second lock. Third ball locked. Oh, and a little bit of a pilot error. Wants to save up the drama for ball 3. Nothing wrong with that, though.
See, it's coming back. Was it gonna go in here?
It's good. Now he has to survive the
Now you
the
gotta
throw.
survive the evil toy box.
The evil toy locks.
It's thinking. There you go,
Man.
Jackie.
It's just an inanimate machine. It's not evil. Although I think Doug thinks it is evil. He's standing over me like, makes it some sort of hex. Oh, he went for the death save and
that
gets
allowed?
ejected from the tournament.
Are we allowed to do that on
No.
live TV?
No.
Don't encourage bad behavior.
Boo!
All right, I'm gonna blow this now.
All right, Fred. How many balls are you going for?
Oh, I'm going for 6.
Okay,
Oh,
6
yeah.
or bust, he says.
Well, I'm gonna try to start a mode, and then I'm gonna go for 6.
Well, you got to start the mode off.
Well, you got to mode now. So
Shoot for the stars.
I don't know if he. Well, let's see what he decides to do here.
I love shooting that orbit.
That was unfortunate.
It'll work out, Sean. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm not worried.
See? It'll work out just fine.
So do you like the artwork on this? Because it's not.
It's fantastic.
I love it.
And I'm not a big Aerosmith fan, but this artwork is fantastic.
I really enjoy the sort of the comic book take that they had. Plus, this on the center of the playfield, it sort of looks like some of their older album style art. So it's a good mix. Oh, that was a really cool technique.
There's the
5.
perfect shot.
I planned that perfectly.
That's 5. One more, and he'll get the full release.
That is a pretty cool view.
Oh, that's what I thought would
6 balls or
This
bust.
guy.
Unfortunately,
was your
This-
demise.
that. So interestingly enough, if Jake gets to 3 balls now, he would actually get a 5-ball multi-ball because there's 5 balls in the toy box.
No way.
Yeah.
Which is sort of cool. So
There they are. You can see them, and they're just waiting to
They're
come
just
free.
waiting. They're just.
That is such a cool view.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
A little bit early.
So if I
Now-
remember correctly, there's like a ball save. Is there a ball save on the out lane?
There's the VIP passes, which you score VIP passes by hitting the 2 white targets, which are around the edge of the toy box.
Oh, so
So
these ones?
those ones up there. And after you hit those a certain amount of time, it lights a VIP, which is a virtual kickback on the right out lane.
Yeah.
Hey, that sort of looks like a smile. That was pretty cool. And Jake will not get the 5-ball multi-ball.
Yeah, Evan has a shot at it.
Evan needs two locks. Otherwise, I don't know. I mean,
Or we're going to have to see a redemption game.
It was a nice post pass. He knows what he needs to do.
okay,
Oh.
so
Jake wins.
yeah, Jake takes the victory. Guys, do I have to get on there to show you guys how it's done?
What's that?
I'm getting on there to show you how it's done.
You playing this one?
I'm gonna get in on with you.
All right.
Sure. I'll be player 4 though. So
All right.
I don't know. All right, so Fred's gonna start out with Rats in the Cellar this time, which is
Nice.
Have you ever had a good game of Aerosmith, John?
I've had a few around like 600 or 700 million, but I haven't broken $1 billion yet on the game. I
Wow.
got everything done on the except for I was 1 shot away from finishing Elevator Multi-Ball. Otherwise, I would have gotten to the Wizard mode. But if you start all the songs, you can start a mini wizard mode. I'm trying to remember what it's called, and it's driving me crazy because I can't remember what it's called. But there's a mini wizard mode.
Hang on, I think I have it here. I am. Let me.
Fred lost his ball really fast.
There's medley multi-ball awarded for getting partial credit on all songs.
Right. And then
And I guess there's something if you get complete
you get
complete every song.
Right. You also have to complete the 2 multi-balls as well. So I completed all the songs, and I was 1 shot away in Elevator, which was so frustrating. Because Elevator multi-ball is hard. I find that to be much more of a challenge than Toy Box.
It's such a grind.
It's such a grind, plus you have to hit the elevator in between every single shot that you
Right.
make. So you're going to have
Oh,
a
nice.
long...
Oh, nice.
Oh my
Look at
goodness.
that.
What was that? That was awesome. Now, it's going to close the toy box, and it's going to come bouncing down.
Because there's the toy box is full because
The-
those 5 balls are still in there.
Right, so...
Now, you bring up a. If you were Jake in the situation and you know that there's 5 in there, would you take the multi-ball at 3?
Absolutely. I wouldn't mess around. Now, I don't know if he gets the bonus increase.
I think it's just
I don't think you do.
yeah, I think it's just
I think you get the jackpots for a 3-ball.
Yeah,
multi-ball,
you
so
get-
I don't think I
But
would
you
be-
do get 5 balls in play.
it's like 2
yeah,
free
for
out of
12
balls.
seconds until I don't know if the ball saver kicks us back out.
I'm not sure either. It's just it is what it is.
Go ahead, Evan.
You're welcome.
So Evan, I forecast.
Can I get a TD?
Play on.
TD sucks.
Well, that was a good. That is what we would call voluntary infractions.
Come on, one more. Oh, I don't care.
Wait,
What's happening?
I don't know. We call him Double Danger Doug.
Oh.
Oh my goodness! Did he just do it? He managed to do it without giving a tilt.
Yeah, because the coin door's open this time.
Oh, does the coin door disable the tilt? That is a new feature. So if the coin door is open, you don't get a danger from it.
Yeah, and the coin
That's
door can be used
really
to add
cool.
tilt warnings back to the player too. No.
Play on.
Well, we're going to call him Double Danger Evan. And, well, he didn't need that ball save.
He doesn't need these tilt warnings either.
Well, no, he just likes running without a safety net.
Very nice.
Fred.
All right, and now here comes John from the booth to show these guys how it's done. No, don't do that, Evan.
Outta here.
Pull a Papa John as we go forward here. I think this is a very underappreciated
Oh, that
game.
was a bad idea.
So did you?
I-
He changed his song on accident.
Yes, I did. I did that on Kiss in New York, and not on purpose either.
If you get a good first shot, though, this can be a very valuable song. It comes down to can you hit that first shot. In this case, he has the lock shot as his first shot. If you get there,
Oh,
he's collected
wow.
it. Now if he can get
That's how you play that.
Yeah.
So that was his
exactly
first
how you
shot.
would
And his
Luck
second
there's
is
nothing wrong with luck.
now if he can get crank it up, all the yellow targets will be worth like 2 million each or something.
That's a waste.
There's the crank it up.
So now you want to hit all the ducks on the playfield.
That was
Or
that
or get the multi-ball and
that
let
aren't
the
actually
multi-ball
ducks.
do the work.
I think John likes to live on the edge anyway. He just loves to shoot dangerous
living
stuff.
on the edge.
Ah, you got that.
Wonder
Oh.
what.
oh,
Oh.
it could have been a
Almost have
Lazarus.
Lazarus.
That could have been a save. That was weak.
You gave up on it too soon.
And as with the all the other players, that was pretty much the same old song and dance. A quick drain. Very little score.
How many Aerosmith puns are there? All of them.
Oh no.
Correct answer is all of them.
So I was gonna say, this is a game you don't want to wail on, 'cause it usually won't last that long.
So in the chat room, someone's requesting what are some quick strategies for quick points on Aerosmith. You step up to this game in Pinburg, what should you be doing?
Modes?
Yeah, it's, pick the right mode. Like walk this way, and if the first shot's an easy one, I like same old song and dance. Really, this is a game where you're not really going to know quick point strategies. It's more of a long game strategy. Did the players in front of you take 3-ball multi-ball, 4-ball multi-ball, what have the other players done? There's the VIP pass coming into play. And do you want to risk going further than they did? I mean, there are some modes that are easier to score points on, but it really comes down to the multi-ball. And
This game kind of gives you a really big edge for going late in terms of play order because of that.
Yeah, you can watch how it's playing and see what people are going for. So like what points you're looking at, everyone's going to kind of try to reach for.
We got regular PAPAtv contributor Chris Stevens in the chat room tonight. He's a little bit under the weather, and hopefully he gets well and can be back for future broadcasts. And there's lock 2 for Fred.
Off Jackie's face. And right to the out lane. And now that the game's not straight anymore, someone will need to make it straight again.
No, definitely not
yeah,
straight.
It's not straight. It's definitely not straight.
Here's an interesting question from the chat room, Doug. How does the match feature work? Is it truly random?
No, it's not. Not in any modern games. Modern games, you set a percentage.
Like the probability.
Right, like you set it to like 10%, for example. I think most Sterns are somewhere in like the 7 to 10% by default, and it will try to basically match that percentage of time. So 10% of the games will give you a match and will give you a free game.
Yeah, you'll see those unusual times where you won't get a match for a long time, then a 4-player group will all match, and then just to get to that percentage.
Yeah, it can be turned down really low too. So if you have a location that doesn't seem like it's giving out matches, the operator may have turned it down. If it's turned off, it won't even show you the animation. So that's a helpful tip. It's actually one of the reasons that I started playing pinball was because of the match feature in games, because my mom would give me so much money to go to the arcade and play, and pinball was the only game where I could win additional games, not only through skill-based play, but also just through random luck. So I would always put all my money into the pinball machines, hoping to get more play for less money.
So Jake's lit all of his locks. He just needs to get them. He's lit all 6. He needs 4 more if he's trying to go for a 6-ball.
Okay, now he's at that
Perfect
point.
shot.
He could have taken the 5-ball 3-ball.
Ah!
Oh. That's an unfortunate drain there, but luckily it's only ball 2.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now Evan only has 1 ball lock or 1 lock lit. You can score some decent points on this game without going for the multi-balls. I know in Vegas I was playing Dan Stephanie, I think it was his last name, North Dakota champion, and we had a game on this, and he got walked this way and then just ramped out the super ramps, and just like that, I was already down almost 30 million. So without a lock.
There are basically 2 versions of this game too. There's the Pro version, which is what we have here, and then there's the Premium and LE versions, which are basically the same layout. What's the difference with the LE Premium version versus what you see here?
The LE has I guess an upper play field off the elevator. When you shoot it in there, it'll kick the ball up to the play field, and the right ramp, instead of coming around, it'll also come to that upper play field. There has some targets up there, and it has a hole that you could shoot it through, and it'll fall into the lock.
I actually have never seen an LE, so that's interesting. I didn't even know.
It's actually easier to get the multi-ball on the LE because you can use the elevator shot to do it.
So if this was a Pinburg group right here, I would certainly take a 3-ball multi-ball after everybody else failed to start in multi-ball, just because, well, they need more work. But this is PAPAtv Live, so I'm just going to keep shooting for stuff.
If this were New York and Bowen Cairns was playing, what would he do?
Well, the other thing that's different about
me.
Pinburg than like your standard, best game style tournament is you only get to play that game once. It's an unfortunate drain for John. He also did not get the multi-ball started. But in Pinburg, you only get to play the game once. So you don't have unlimited attempts to keep playing a game to try and dial the shots in. You really have to. You walk up to Aerosmith and you have 3 balls to do the best you can with.
So it's all coming down to this ball 3. Everybody's lit lots of locks or has locked balls. Nobody has cashed in yet.
We got a question in the chat room. Does Pinburg have more pro or premium versions of Stern games?
Pros for sure.
You think we've got a couple LEs and premiums in there?
We do.
3 I can think of off the top of my head.
Metallica, Guardians.
Yeah.
AC/DC.
Yeah, because we're naming all the games today instead of Saturday.
Oh, sorry. Well, those are almost implied games that are going to be in almost any tournament on the planet.
Okay,
This is the
here's
only
4.
tournament on the planet.
Is Fred going to take it?
Nope. Going one more.
Yeah, so to abort, you have to press that start button, which is the button in the center.
I'm taking 5 this time.
Or action button. It's like down here.
Okay.
It's Raiders from the Toy Box.
And here
You
they
see,
come.
It'll very frequently dump like half your balls right down the middle, but you get them back.
That's pretty sweet when that happens.
So during multi-ball, you want to get multipliers by putting more balls in the toy box. Is that right?
In the lock shot.
In the lock shot.
Yeah, you need to hit the toy box to light it, and then you shoot the lock to get the it'll put the ball in for the multiplier.
That first, and then the shot to get to go in there.
Which I don't think Fred's done yet. No,
Yeah.
still has a jackpot on the toy box. He's yet to hit it, and
Because this is lit, you can tell he hasn't lit it yet. Oh, it says toys. Or he's out of multi-ball.
he's out of multi-ball.
Oh, wow.
That was pretty.
Super hard drain came back into play.
And
That
then
was beautiful. I planned it exactly that way.
Do it again.
now you see they're kicked out of the elevator. It does have a short ball saver if it does kick it down the middle.
I like that, like Ghostbusters. Like you can always count on it giving you a little bit of a leeway.
Now, because Fred's going towards multi-ball the second time,
It
he'll have
missed.
to hit the toy box twice for each
That's
lock.
like Shaquille O'Neal with the free throw line there. Can I get it back? No, I thought I had a ball safe.
So where did he end up?
Not as far as I thought.
Yeah.
How many
It
points
was-
does he have?
It was 20
Jake,
or
where's Fred
28.
at?
28. So 28's to millions to beat right now.
It's one of the frustrating things about this game and its design. Those white scores are really hard to see on a broadcaster from a distance. Okay, well, Jake go
Is
at
he
4.
gonna take it?
Gave him a lock there, even though it did not actually hit the lock.
So if there's no toys in the toy box, all the balls are going to be plunged in,
Yes.
They'll come out of the trough.
but it's less fun looking.
Missed
It's
it.
less fun, but more controlled.
Okay, Evans moving on to Sweet Emotion.
So Evan has 3 locks lit. He plunges into 1.
Now, because the toy box is empty, that was really smart there. He soft plunged it to have a chance to plunge it himself because it will fire the ball really quick. And he just plunged it a little bit too hard on his own. Gets the nice pop bumper bounce into the lock. Will he take the 3?
Looks like it.
At this point, if you're in a Pinburg group and he's sitting in last place, I think he's just trying to accumulate as many points as possible. Try and get your points one at a time here.
Control is key on this game. You really got to slow the ball down and make like shots, because it could end really quickly.
I hit the extra ball there really quickly, and we have it set as an actual extra ball. Okay, there's the ball into the trunk. And that ball's locked away. He has double playfield scoring for a little bit. Now he has a chance to make it triple if he can hit the lock.
Oh, points.
8 million super jackpot will give him the lead.
And he's 5 shots left for super ramps. Is there an out of ball on Toy Box?
Yes.
How do you get that?
Light the mystery, and then it's the left scoop.
So are these the mystery targets? Or
I believe.
all
Yeah, I
of
think
them?
you have to hit all of them to light it. And
Whoa. And then the scoop. The scoop.
That's a lot of really dangerous shots.
I know.
that's one thing. You'll see people not familiar with this game. They'll drain out a multi-ball and walk away, not realizing that there's still a ball in that trunk, waiting to kick out.
All right.
Pretty good ball there by Evan. 49 million now.
He's got Joe Perry ramps.
Wow, right outlands.
A generous ball saver.
Who set this game up?
Do you think this game will be set like this for Pinbird? No?
Will there be no ball save?
I don't know.
The trunk will definitely be disabled.
I should probably start setting up games soon.
Definitely it'd be important to notice if people are playing before you, if there is a ball save or not. Because then I wouldn't full plunge.
Yeah, you're definitely not guaranteed to get a ball and a flipper off of full plunge on this game.
It just kind of whips so fast through here, and then these could just change the direction.
What do you want to listen to?
It's up to you. You're the player.
Free Bird? Wrong game. Hasn't come out yet.
Some Last Child here. Well, we haven't seen elevator multi-ball yet, Evan.
Yeah, I got a ways to go. But let's
That
try
sounds
some
like an
Corvettes.
excuse. Make it happen.
Ah, that's boom. All right. Well,
Not
Or
this
don't.
time.
I'll take it.
It's a big ball by Evan. He takes the lead. We have over, it's got over 50 million, over 55. 55, squiggle, squiggle, squiggle is what it looks like the score is from here.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed. Oh.
Now, John had
Oh.
got the ball save and had it. Yeah. Yeah, redemption.
You gotta be quick when it auto launches, because it will launch it super fast.
Take a zero.
Did not give you a chance to play that one, John.
And John, immediate redemption, right back in.
I'm mad.
I think the winner should get a choice, no?
Does someone want to?
Right, coming into the booth now, we have both Fred Cochran and Evan Bookbinder to give us some Aerosmith.
Look at on this. Hi guys.
Oh,
So how was your Aerosmith experience?
Awful as usual.
Fred, you have no one to blame but yourself for how this thing's set up.
Oh no, I put actually just to let people know, right before we played today, I put CP 100 on the entire play field and wiped it down, and the backspin on the game is insane. Yeah, the backspin on this game is insane. So
Yeah, there's ridiculous backspin. For those who can't see, outlane post rubbers have been removed, so
they were off already, man.
right. But
Now, there was a question from the chat room asking, do you think the game's easier or harder with that post in between the pop bumpers removed? And I can't say I've ever noticed that post there to begin with.
Really, I never seen that either. Look at that.
I mean, I can imagine that would make it a lot more
Who has a
random
telestrator
to
here?
come out.
I'm gonna telestrate this bad boy. I got our new toy over here.
I
So
don't know what he's talking about.
this right here, there's a post right in between the two pop bumpers, And I've never seen that before, and I don't know if I've ever seen a game with it removed.
Oh, so it would actually allow the ball to go
Through the pop bumpers, yeah.
Huh.
That'd be interesting.
I wonder if you'd get more or less locks, because for those watching, I'm sure you noticed a lot of the locks we collected were not straight shots to the lock, but ricochets off pops and...
Can we switch seats?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. Jake quickly threw his first song, and now he's back in the saddle. And he got the second lock here. Oh, I'm sorry, his first lock. Yeah, like I said, his second lock.
Jake's actually getting to play the game, which is really nice. Jake has had some bad experiences on the games here on PAPAtv, but he's doing really well now.
Yeah, the other thing, that Jackie toy box has been challenging at times. It worked there, but this game is known for the auto catapult there out of the saucer, sometimes rejecting the toy box.
All right, so in our game before that, I got the lock shot, and then it didn't shoot it into the toy box. It closed, and then just the ball went wherever. Why does that happen?
So
if a ball's already locked in there?
In a multiplayer game, if X or less than X, or excuse me, X or more than X balls are already locked, it can't put any more in the toy box, because that's what the person who had the most had in there.
Okay.
So it's going to kind of just toss it back onto the playfield haphazardly. So what you bring up is an excellent strategy, where if you have the choice on this game, you probably want to be player one, because you are at a serious advantage if you can lock balls early and force everybody else to have to deal with the ball being thrown on top of the toy box,
with
and
the
just
rando
being
ball, right?
tossed all over the playfield.
Oh, and that's one of those ever familiar drains where you think you're safe because there's two in lanes over there. Hits the top of the sling, and it just decides to bounce over and end the ball. So you know.
In fact, I've seen players get really greedy. It's a high risk, but lock a whole bunch of balls in as player one, ball one, and intentionally not collect the multi-ball till ball three to keep that advantage going through a couple balls at least of players being forced to either get all six or fight the feed.
Now, is there a setting in this that you can disable the toy box altogether?
Yes, and that's typically done in tournament play.
Okay, that's what I figured. Right. Yeah. I've actually never played this in a tournament, as far as I can, remember.
But there's the common double left bounce out lane that's
again.
featured on this game, Metallica. I think we all thought Avatar started it, Ghostbusters.
Well, Jake had it, and then Priyanka got it. So instead of Priyanka getting the sickness from John, she got the outlane drain from Jake. So now she's contagious, so stay away from Priyanka. I'm not. I'm speaking the truth, man. I'm speaking the truth.
So Fred and Petey, John's joined us. Awesome. Petey's playing the game. Well, I guess we could ask Petey too, because he's playing.
Evan,
my question was, is there a song that's not in this game that you wish had been
quite a few
put in this game?
He was talking about before the broadcast, John.
Yeah, I was saying Dream On. I think that would have been a great one. Hey, Evan, we have a question from the chat. They were asking if you could talk about your experience at the Amazing Race this past weekend.
Oh, absolutely. I don't want to ruin Petey's so far so good gameplay, but I had an amazing time at Amazing Race. Ross Wilson, Lewis, who's not with us tonight, and myself went out to Columbus. Evan Bingham ran an awesome tournament. It's the first time I've ever played in this format, and I want to bring it to Pittsburgh. So kind of quickly gloss over what we did was there was a day of match play qualifying. Everybody played 10 rounds of match play on randomly assigned games, and we used Papa style scoring, so 3, 2, 1, 0, and basically everybody got ranked at the end of the first day. Top 24 qualified, with the first 8 getting a bye, and then there was a separate B division. The second day, which is what made it the Amazing Race, was awesome. So basically everybody started worst seed all the way to first seed on a particular game. You played one-player games, and the lowest score on that game basically got bounced. And then on to the next game, and on to the next game, and so on and so forth, till
somebody wins.
Essentially, one person did not have the lowest score on any of the 24 games.
I've played in that format before. I did very well in it, but I could see how frustrating that format would be. Because let's say you just start off the day and you have a horrible game. I mean, that would be a really frustrating format. It's one and done, so to speak.
Right. So we had talked about that, and I guess previously that's how it was. So this year, Evan added the match play to give people a whole day's worth of play.
Okay, so
Great save by Pete.
I guess the running inside joke was the first person who went out was Evan's best friend since childhood, and the second player. Nice job, Pete.
Actually, let's break away from your story for a
Absolutely,
moment. Come back to
this
that.
is good.
And Pete's about to crush it. Six
Yeah,
ball.
he skillfully got the 5, but then lucked in the 6 off the pop bumpers.
Hey, yeah, I call
any way
it
you
skill.
can get it. Any way you can get it. Pop bumper went right in, which is something that actually commonly happens on this game. So.
All right, so he gets a multiplier done. He gets that by hitting the toy box. So now everything is multiplied by 2. He can get another multiplier and multiply everything by 3 here if he acts quickly. And he now has that lit, so if he can hit the lock shot again, which he just did, now everything will be multiplied by 3. The next thing he wants to focus on is getting his mystery and building. There's the super jackpot for 12 million points. And now you can get that as a combo. It'll multiply by 3 and then by an additional 2, making it I believe, an additive 5 times super jackpot. So each shot he's making right now is over 4 million points for every single jackpot shot. 4.5 million.
Boy, this Petey Hendricks has been on a tear. Here come all the balls back out of the toy box.
I did none of these things. I had 6-ball multi-ball, but I did nothing.
Right, you didn't.
He needs the right ramp up.
Yeah, I didn't get the lock or the scoop shot or any of that other stuff that you were talking about.
All right, so
he's got the 2 right shots, right ramp and right orbit. Andy got the right ramp on cue. I was hoping he did that.
Okay, that's going to be a good multi-ball. So
100,
48 million points.
106 change.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
That's that elevator shot.
So honestly, it's not an amazing 6-ball multi-ball, but any 6-ball multi-ball where you get stuff done, that was pretty decent.
Great job to Pete. He was up there dancing.
Right, because the shot
he's still dancing. So he's he's got a pretty good lead. He's better than I think Evan had 60 million last game, and he's already at 107 or something like that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
111.
So that's a solid 111, solid score.
No.
And then again, if anybody wants to see some really great play by competitors on this game, go back and watch the broadcast that we did in New York City with Bowen and John and Keith and any number of players that were playing. Steve Bowden. It was one of the games that's for the ages easily. And John played his heart out, played great, had a great score, and Bowen was behind it in a big way and couldn't find a shot. But eventually found the shots and just crushed it. So.
But that's the benefit of taking the risk for the 6-ball multi-ball is not having 6 balls on the playfield simultaneously, because inevitably they're all in the way of each other and it's tough to score jackpots. It's the advanced scoring you get with each successive ball you risk from 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, and I didn't understand what the whole 5, like when John gets back on, or if either of you guys know what the advantage of taking 5 was instead of 6. Bowen took 5, and it ended up being exactly what he needed to do to maximize his scoring potential. So
now, Bowen had started a mode right when he took his 5, and
right.
I think it was Sweet Emotion he started, and he just pounded the points with the multi-ball. That's the one thing I didn't do on my ball. I had no mode going in that multi-ball. Right. It had easily been another 40 or 50 million points because it bounced in for the 6. I wasn't ready for that part yet, but it's not like you're going to turn down 6 when you get it.
No, you definitely, I took the 5 on the game that I had. I just wanted to actually make some shots and not embarrass myself.
I'd really want to get that left scoop going before I get that multi-ball.
We had a question in the chat room. What stern tables will be at Pinburg? And we'll remind you at this time to watch This Saturday, 10 a.m., Steve Bowden will be playing every single Pinball game. And we'll get to see every stern that will be in the Pinball banks.
Wow, it's like a shats up the right in lane, across the playfield, and out. But see, now you have an extra ball. That's why we told you to put it in the scoop.
If I put it on the telestrator, I'm not sure if this is what happened right here. Shats into the out lane, maybe.
No, it's the other.
Oh, it's the opposite way. I've done that before, which is pretty embarrassing. The worst one is whenever you hit the ball at the tip of the flipper, and it just goes right down the middle like that.
Oh, nice backhand. And here comes big showtime. I love this light show here to start the multi-ball.
Yeah, like I said, I think the game really pops. The colors on this game are fantastic. I think the gameplay is fun.
Dirty Donnie's amazing artwork.
Yeah.
Now we'll see the difference here. Jake has a mode going with his 6-ball where I didn't. Let's see how much further he can turn this.
And so, yeah, his big points are going to come from the right spinner with Rats.
And I believe his mystery is lit. If he can get it into that left scoop, right over there, he can get his add-a-ball.
Yeah, now he had it all trapped, and then he jailbroke him.
Oh, just missed. Hit the post.
Now he gets some double playfield 1-ball play here. Can use this to hopefully get that out of ball.
There it is.
Yeah, like that.
Skillfully done. Nice job, Jake.
Is that what that was?
That was off a sling and into the scoop.
And I think he's just one target away from a shot multiplier here, too. On the far left bank.
Yeah, shooting the ramps on this game are actually pretty satisfying.
Yes. Especially the right one. The middle one's pretty standard.
Yeah, it is, but it's like I said, it just has a good feel to it. Well, even when like the similarities of Kiss in the middle.
I think you could have saved
obviously
that.
they're there, but I still think the ramp shots are still fun. The right ramp's a little bit tight, but once you figure out where it's at.
All right, see if we can get a new mode started here.
So he's got his records lit on the scoop on the left. So he's going to try to get that in there. If he can survive this.
Nice nudge, nice ramp shot.
Live shot. I think what he needs to do again is he needs to bank it off the slingshot again, just like he did the first time.
I don't know if I'd go for that.
Nah. What's he going for here? Yep, he missed it. So.
Oh, this is dangerous.
Nice nudges, nice patience.
Nice.
Perfectly done, Jake. Nice job.
All right, what are we going to listen to here?
You get some super scoring here.
He's already got some super scoring going. He had his multi-ball. We got
some dude.
All right. So right orbit starts it.
Oh my goodness.
Rough feed out of the right side or the left side there. Maybe a little flipper fumble.
Still a pretty good ball. He'll be at about 50 million.
Here's one of their new additions to the PAPAtv crew, Priyanka. Always a force to be reckoned with in the Pittsburgh Pinball League.
In any pinball league or competition.
Yeah, when she goes, we go on the road sometimes. We go to Ohio to Super Electric, and she likes to go down there, and she's been to women's national championships every year that they've had it. If I'm not mistaken, right?
Have they had two? I know she's been to two.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the 2 times that they've had it, she's been there. So
okay,
she's represented well.
3 times actually.
The 3 times?
3? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you for correcting me. I had no idea if it was 2 or 3. And she just got lucky with
3 locks.
an in-lane bounce there. It was pretty fortunate for her. It came right out of the toy box and went straight down that right in lane instead of going to the out lane.
Oh, I knew it.
And I jinxed her. Way to go. Way to go, Fred.
So, getting back to the story before PD blew up his last ball with Amazing Race, it is a very interesting format, having to kind of live on the edge, so to speak, and wondering if your bottom score is going to hopefully get erased by another competitor, or else you're going home. But yeah, trying to find a way to make that format work so that people who go home early feel like they got their money's worth and had a good time. And I think having qualifying rounds definitely helps. And maybe we'll consider doing something like a double elimination or some other aspect to let people play a bit longer. But thanks, chat, for asking. It was an amazing tournament. Thanks for all the folks out in Ohio, Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati, folks who came over and just made it such a great weekend.
Yeah, they'll be making their way over here in a couple weeks for replay.
Yeah, it was pretty much unanimous. That sounded like almost all 60 competitors are coming over, either as part of Pinburg, and the few that didn't get in said they were definitely coming to replay just to hang out and play in Intergalactic. And
it's amazing. When I started playing pinball competitively in 2000, I think it was 8 or 9, that the scene was kind of big. It wasn't huge. And my first one was here at the PAPA headquarters for a PAPA.
And come on, game.
Just to see the growth and the amount of tournaments and the amount of people playing competitive pinball now, and how big, shows have gotten. Obviously, replay being here and seeing that, but just going around anywhere, it's amazing how many people play now competitively. It's
couldn't
crazy.
Agree more.
So PAPA was your first tournament?
Yeah, I always played pinball as a kid, and I'd always known about it. I knew about Pinburg actually in the early 2000s, but at the time I was playing competitive hockey. I was playing competitive hockey, so for me, I was always traveling for hockey, and I didn't really take time to travel and play pinball. And then after I stopped playing hockey, that's when I got the competitive bug to do something else, and that's what brought me to pinball. And haven't looked back.
I think Pinburg was actually my first tournament, but that was like in 2010 when it was here.
Okay.
I remember I was just starting in league, and Mahesh, our league mate, was just like, "Hey, you should come to this tournament over the weekend. It's in Carnegie. It'll be a fun time."
Yeah, it's like I said. I met a lot of great people right just coming down here, and joined leagues soon thereafter, playing down here for my first time. And like I said, it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and my involvement in it has gotten much bigger.
So did playing all that Hawk League growing up make you great at slap saves?
Maybe the slashing, maybe clubbing people was how I got good at slap saves. But
this is how Fred wins. He just takes out the other players.
Nah, hockey was different. That was a nice little block shot right there. Kind of fell in there.
We tell Fred to go sit in the corner for 2 minutes, and then we let him go free.
And feel shame.
Yes,
go to the
lots
box
of shame.
2 minutes. No, I enjoyed playing hockey, but it takes a toll on your body. And after about 12 years of playing competitively, I had enough.
Playing this Aerosmith takes a toll on your body.
Oh, really?
Slingshot outlane. I noticed the slingshots were kind of tight this afternoon, and they've definitely been treating Priyanka incorrectly.
All right, so Pete's going to try to do something a little different here. He's going to try to go for elevator multi-ball.
Well, first I'm going to try to get this extra ball, and then we'll worry about elevator.
Elevator multi-ball.
Plunge harder.
All right, so the extra ball is litten. I can't even speak English tonight. It's on the left scoop right there. That's where the extra ball is. We turned extra balls on so we could see people actually play the game instead of watching outlane drains all day. But everybody's been playing pretty well tonight, so. And unfortunately, outlane.
No elevator multi-ball this time, but
no elevator action or outlanes or whatever that is.
Elevator is not the way to score big points in this game, but it is a fun multi-ball to try if you ever have a chance. I think we're going to be done with Aerosmith, so goodbye, Steven Tyler.
Goodbye, Aerosmith.
You have a beautiful daughter.
So we got some upcoming broadcasts. Liv Tyler, she was great in Armageddon.
Yeah.
Upcoming broadcast, 7/14, 10 a.m., PAPAtv Live. It's going to be the Pinburg Bank reveal with presented by Deep Root Pinball with Steve Bowden. We are going to be revealing all 280 of the Pinburg games.
Ish.
Well, 328.
There's 328, but we're not doing the backup.
We're not doing the backup.
So there's 280 games in the banks. 72 banks, 4 games in each bank. 280 games.
I'm exhausted just thinking about
this. And we
are
going to do a video stream of Steve playing each one of those games and talking a little bit about the games and doing some different things. So this is going to be a first time we've done something like this. So
it might be the last.
It might be the last, but I think I think it's going to be fun, and I know Steve's super excited.
Yeah,
and we certainly want to thank Deeproot for partnering up with us to be able to make this happen.
Steve is probably the best broadcaster we actually have doing anything, so I am so happy to see Steve coming out to do this. I love hanging on the microphone with Steve when I get to do it.
Oh, he's such a good broadcaster.
Yeah. I enjoy it too as
Love
well.
his personality.
Then also other upcoming broadcasts. We have the Pittsburgh Finals on on Sunday, or on Saturday rather, for that. And then on Sunday we have the Intergalactic Finals at 10 a.m. and then at 2:30 the Women's International Final rounds as well. So we will have lots of broadcasting, lots of people talking about pinball, and it's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be something different than we've never done. And,
yeah, I mean,
I might be able to see some of it. I'll be on the other, the other side of the building.
Fred, let's be real. Neither you nor me will get to see any of this until after the event is actually over.
I get called over there from time to time for different things, but I don't go over there very often. So you're right. I probably won't see it.
It's like a half a mile away from where I'm doing most of my work during the festival. So
literally.
I mean, if I feel like I need some extra mileage, I'll come over and say hi.
But
also too, we want to make sure we talk about advertising on PAPAtv. Our channel has over 3 million views on the PAPAtv YouTube channel. Our videos have accumulated over 26 million minutes of views. Reach your target audience. Competitive rates are available for your business or event. Pinburg advertising spots are still available. If you are interested in advertising on PAPAtv, contact sales at papa.org for details. And Deeproot is going to be one of those sponsors?
Yeah, I mean, I believe there may be others, but we're not talking about that yet because it's super secret.
That's right.
Super secret stuff.
But
not just skill shots anymore.
The one
lots
thing
of super secret stuff.
The one thing, as we grow, we definitely we need to partner with people and allow us to grow. And like I said, Deeproot stepping up and allowing us to do the broadcast with Steve is something we wanted to do, and thankfully it's happening, and we're super excited to make it happen.
I hope YouTube storage can handle the hours and hours and hours of video that's going to result from this.
Okay, so we are going on to Timeline by Gottlieb. This is a System 1, I believe, Gottlieb, and
Star 80, I think.
Yeah, it's a Star 80.
For the first time ever, I'm going to do the keys to the game.
Go ahead, John.
Here we go. Man versus machine. The main feature is bonus multipliers, and the scoring on this game is at the tic-tac-toe board in the center of the playfield. For each X that you place on the board through the various target banks and lanes, the game will place an O on the board. If you get 3 X's in a row or force the computer to a tie, you win the round and advance your bonus multiplier along with earning the lit reward. If the game gets 3 O's in a row, you lose the bonus multiplier and you go down a stage.
That's a really cool feature.
Have you guys ever watched the movie, what was that 80s movie where he finally tricked the computer to play tic-tac-toe?
Oh, that's what's my War Games.
War Games, that's right.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
Oh, great movie.
Ferris Bueller.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, I digress. But I was just thinking about the computer that plays tic-tac-toe against you. Anyways, you find your center. The only place where the game can't place an O is in the center. But you can start your ball off with an X there. When you plunge the upper mini playfield, drop 7 targets before time runs out. And you have about 10 seconds to spot the center X. Dropping 10 targets gives you an instant win. And the third key, prolong the timeline. This is like a time travel flick. Tic-tac-toe is a classic game of skill and strategy. I would argue with the skill, but it is a game of strategy. To the point where many colleges have written white papers on how to win. Trapping the ball and assessing your situation when you can help guide you to the correct moves that will net you a win, along with providing control that prevents errant entries onto the board.
So, yeah, this is a really interesting game, and I think the second key is kind of the neat feature. There's this like mini playfield area. You have 10 seconds, and it times out. In those 10 seconds, you're going to have to hit a whole bunch of drop targets to light the X in the center.
Okay.
And kind of the other cool thing is a tic-tac-toe board where the X's are not placed randomly. There's certain shots that will spot certain X's.
Well,
and they're actually labeled on the playfield 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, with 5 only being accessible through the.
I'm used to other
initial
games that we have that, such as Mystic or X's and O's, where you play tic-tac-toe as a part of the game. But are you saying this really plays a lot differently than that?
I think so. There's definitely some strategy to a game like Mystic for sure, and some similarities and overlap there. But how and where the shots are just dispersed all over the playfield.
Right.
This is one game where it really pays to read the playfield, because it's spelled out in words on the playfield as to, okay, if I clear this drop target bank, I'm getting X number 7, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
But what's cool is every X you place on the playfield, the game instantly counters with an O.
And that's all done right here in the center of the playfield. You'll see the yellow lights light up.
Okay. Oh, check that out. So, he comes down to the lower playfield real quick.
All right, so again, as we mentioned, we talked about the mini playfield. That's up in the top here on the top left. And as you plunge your ball, it'll go into where the mini playfield is. You have about 10 or 15 seconds to complete as many targets as you can and not do what Jake just did.
So that's interesting to point out is the left out lane is in the middle.
Yes, there's a lot of games that have this feature, but there's a kicker that's over here on the left, an out lane right there, and an in lane right there.
So it's like a future spa.
Very similar.
Except there's no spa.
All right, so Priyanka's going to plunge a ball up, and she's going to want to hit these targets at the top. There's 5 targets. And no matter how many targets you hit, when the time runs out, that is it. They will
your flippers die.
Your flippers die, and the ball will come down, and you'll collect a bonus for the amount of tickets, the amount of points that you scored right there. That's always lit. So when it goes through there, it'll give it to you.
So other than the plunge, there's actually one way to get the ball back up in this upper left area.
Yes, and that is right here in this
narrow shot
right there. You get 15,000 for shooting through here, and it'll go all the way back down to your plunger, and then you'll be able to plunge back into the mini playfield again, and that's where you get your biggest points. Elizabeth Cromwell is in love with this game, and she showed me this afternoon. I really have never played this game, and she plays this all the time, and she was showing me what to do on it, and then we played a game, and then sure enough, the mini playfield was huge points. Huge points.
Oh my goodness, what's going to happen here? So he plunged the lower playfield, and
how'd that happen?
Pull harder, Petey.
And his flippers were dead.
It went through here.
Oh my. Okay, so he got the ball back.
You do get the ball back.
Wow, that's crazy.
But that was fun to see there.
That was like a super skill shot that's worth nothing.
He was sweating bullets there for a second.
I doubt that.
So the one thing Elizabeth, myself, we couldn't figure out before the game was there is a gate in the right out lane, and there's nothing on the instruction card or on the playfield that tells you how to open it.
Shot, Pete.
But it turns out it's the 1, 2, 3 stand-ups in the top right.
Nice.
If you
right
extinguish all those lights, the gate will open back to the shooter lane to give you another chance to get to the top left.
Yeah, so Pete shot the center shot, got his 15,000 points, which is why the blue light went out, and was able to plunge back into that playfield. So if you watch his score, each time he goes up there and comes down that middle lane, he'll, it'll count his bonus from the middle there, and
so
it's a lucrative way to get points.
I mean, I think the opportune strategy is just to keep shooting that center shot and go back up there again. That's that's what Pete's trying to do.
Every time he does this on the left-hand side with this kicker, though, too, it is 10,000 points, and he'll usually kick it up into the numbers for a fairly safe shot.
The only bad part about that upper left playfield when it drains out of there is your ball is in danger.
Yes.
I've seen it kind of rattle out there and go straight down that middle lane.
I bet.
It goes right here, and then sometimes it bounces off the top of the sling down here.
Exactly.
And it'll bounce back over to the left.
Well, I guess the question then becomes, what's the risk versus the reward? I mean, is the reward worth it for going up there? I would think that it is.
I think so, because having that center X, maybe not going back up there if you already have the center X, because your biggest reward comes from completing tic-tac-toe.
Okay.
So until I have a tic-tac-toe completed and the board kind of resets, I don't know if I'd keep going back up top if that bonus is worth it.
Now, like I said, when I played it earlier, when Elizabeth showed me the way, I just shot it back up top all day long and ended up with like close to 900,000, and that was enough for me. I was sold.
So what do you guys think about that? Is this the only game that mixes old school chimes
Oh no,
with
definitely not.
modern sound?
No, it isn't. But I was gonna mention that though. I really think that's neat.
It is awesome.
The sounds on this game, like when you're standing next to it, it's super loud, and the sounds are really like they really grab you and make you pay attention to the game that's going on.
Well, I mean, it's a game about something.
It's about time. We were talking about time cop and
Oh,
stuff.
And there's the thing.
And there goes the bounce out.
So that would be. Is that called a no flip, or is that just called a
No.
mean?
It's not a no flip. He flipped the top flippers.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's sort of like black hole. Remember the old black holes? Like if you send it down to the lower playfield and you don't hit anything down there, you just
Oh
die.
yeah, it shoots it up the tube right into the
Yeah,
outlane.
right.
Actually, my favorite is whenever you accidentally shats the right in lane with the left flipper,
Oops.
and it goes through the gate when
You're
it's not
done.
open,
You're done.
and then it closes again and says, "See you later." And yeah, Black Hole's another one of those games that, like I said, you don't see a heck of a lot, but it's a lot of fun. This one, like I said, I have never really played this game all that much, and I can see why Elizabeth likes it.
Alright.
I have a black hole that's living up to its name. This thing is just giving me fits trying to repair some board issues I inherited. But I won't give up.
All right, so the lower drops count
I thought it was gonna go over.
towards your 7 of 10 drops on the upper playfield. So it's best to get a couple of those before you start going up top. That's interesting.
That's correct.
Yeah, I know that there are throughout the playfield there are a number of things that tell you what yellow circle it'll light on that grid right there, and I paid no attention to that whatsoever. So obviously I did something wrong.
I need the 1 and the 9, or this
Sounds
is
good.
a draw.
And
But,
look, Pete's not really sure what he wants to do on here, and then behind them,
So
you can see Priyanka, James, and Jake trying to figure out what they want to do next too.
So
Petey's like boxed out of getting a tic-tac-toe unless he can get kind of the top left and top right, which are numbered 1 and 7.
I was also told that special gate that we were talking about that didn't have a home, you can open that by completing banks of drop targets.
Oh,
And not only
I
the
thought
one-
it was just 1, 2, and 3.
You can open it multiple ways. Somebody knows their Gottliebs.
Not me. Well, I don't know this Gottlieb.
Not this one anyway.
This isn't Super Orbit.
That's correct. This definitely is not Super Orbit. It is pretty fun though.
I've grown to really like these a lot more than I used to. I thought they were sort of slow and clunky.
Yes.
And a lot of people might actually, make that argument still. And you can it's fair to say that.
Great nudge, Petey.
But this is sort of a different, you treat it as a different type of machine. And then suddenly it's like, hey, I like that.
No, I've mentioned it on here a few times before. I used to be like a Bally Williams snob, and if it wasn't Bally Williams, I wouldn't play it.
Yeah.
And that's, I was stupid. The Gottlieb games, especially the EMs. I love the Gottlieb EMs. And some of the solid state games are pretty cool too. But for
I have
me,
no idea what I'm
like
doing.
I said, I was cheating myself all those years by not playing the other games.
Have either you two seen this game elsewhere?
No.
Because I haven't. But the production number is actually over 3,000, so it's not
Well,
exactly rare.
It might be rare now. I mean, keep in mind, this was going on 40 years ago that this came out. So, I bet you if there was 3,000 made, I bet you there might be 300 in existence, if that.
Another interesting thing too about this game, I was trying to get. You can see a little bit of glare on the glass towards the bottom. We don't have a Visiglass for this game. It's too wide, but it's also too long. The glass is actually longer than traditional glass.
Oh, this is the non-standard cabinet completely?
Yeah, it's totally non-standard. The playfield glass is longer and wider than any of the glass we have here. It's almost it's not really a super wide, but it's by about a half inch too wide for the glass to fit.
Did you see what Jake did when the ball came out of the the left side, because he actually gave that a big nudge, which caused it to come over to the right flipper.
Which is not a bad idea to at least take that left out lane out of the risk of play.
All right, Priyanka, you're about to come up and crush the timeline.
I know,
Why don't you
but
change the
they're
timeline?
all like spaced out. What am I gonna do? Ooh.
I love the backglass on this game too. If you had a chance to look at it up close.
Got a question from the chat room. In your opinion, who does better games nowadays? Stern, Jersey Jack, or others?
I'm gonna start weeping.
I think all the companies add something that I enjoy. I think Dialed In was fantastic. I think Iron Maiden's phenomenal. I think Houdini was really cool the time I got to play it. I played Kingpin in Atlanta. So there's a number of companies that are producing games that I enjoy for different reasons.
I think the competition is forcing everybody to step up their A game. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
right?
Evan, that's a great point.
Would you not disagree that Iron Maiden is probably one of the best, if not the best, modern Stern?
Iron Maiden is I think it has the potential to be a really great pin. I love the layout of it.
So,
I'm not going to say it's the best modern Stern. No, I'm sorry. I love Keith's a great guy and he's a friend, but I'm not willing to go there yet. I'm sorry.
I'm close myself. Now, I mean, Metallica, Walking Dead, Tron.
I was going to say they're
really great games.
You just mentioned 3 games that are fantastic.
Yeah.
So, but Iron Maiden really good.
Yeah.
Dialed In, phenomenal game.
Yeah.
I honestly haven't really played Pirates that's coming out yet.
I haven't
that
either.
trend continues.
I mean, once
but
or twice.
You throw
Total Nuclear.
Scott Danesi into the
Total
mix,
Nuclear.
and TNA just brought back the 1980s solid state game to a whole new level, and it's one of my favorite games right now.
I mean, I think you what you're saying is the most opportune thing. Competition is bringing out the best in all these companies.
Broadcasters.
And they're all having to step it up.
Right, because if you're one company, you can kind of get
how do I be
complacent, and the only thing that's going to stop you is the customer.
Yeah, there's like I said, there's so much to be excited about in pinball right now, and it kind of goes back to even like when I started competing, there was a couple makers, and now there are so many, and there are a lot of companies just putting out quality products.
Yeah, the same person who said that said Keith Elwin made a good first impression with Iron Maiden, so I'm expecting big things from him in the future.
Absolutely.
I would say that I am expecting big things from Keith as well, because Keith is a quiet
genius.
Gosh, Keith. I don't know. I'd like to say that. Yeah. You know what? Let's go with it. Actually, I have so many friends in this that in the pinball thing that I would consider genius. That I think it's fair. And James went out the outlane. Sorry, James.
It opened again after it went out?
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, it just
That's
teased you.
That's not how it works. It's supposed to work the other way. It's supposed to save the ball.
All right, so back for another game of Timeline. They're trying to be a Time Lord, see if they can save the Doctor. Or wait, no, they're traveling through time, and they're going to alter history. I don't know. I don't know. This is great because we can make up a storyline for it.
I love when that top left playfield times out. You get the buzzer. I don't know if they can hear that on the stream or not, but it's like a big game show buzzer. There's the shot.
Yeah, it is.
Right back to the shooter lane.
You're missing it completely. We have Steve coming on Saturday, and one of his favorite things to talk about is game shows. We have Hollywood Squares, the pinball game.
Hollywood Squares, the pinball game.
With Shadow Stevens and Whoopi Goldberg.
I kept having to take Aton Goldman in the upper left corner for the win.
Look out.
Nice nudge, sir.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Okay, Jake has the extra ball if he wins the next one, so I'm counting on the game to take this one.
Another subtle but good nudge to the kicker.
Seems like you're sort of at the mercy of it over there. That's it.
Oh,
that's gone.
That was
Yeah,
a
that-
straight shot.
He got a little rattle out of it, though. I don't know. I don't know if there was enough to save that ball, but it was a good attempt.
Decent score, though.
All right, Priyanka, you're trying to change the future. Or the past. I'm not really sure, but the timeline needs to be altered.
The present.
If we had played this and Time Machine next to each other, we could have completely broken the space-time continuum.
What? I mean, actually, let me ask you something. You know, if you were doing a futuristic pinball game about the future, what the heck does tic-tac-toe have to do with the future?
Oh, the game's timeless, John, because if you play it right, nobody ever wins.
Oh, my. That's so deep.
Well,
Deep
I learned that
thoughts.
from War Games, the movie.
Deep thoughts with Evan Bookbinder. Uh-oh.
Sometimes it doesn't have to be deep. I mean, Rosebud was a sled.
She's really close to finding that shooter lane shot.
She already did.
She's really close to finding the center hole there, too.
Well, that'll get the ball to
no.
the shooter lane.
Yeah, yeah, but not for her. Oh, my goodness. That was direct. Oh,
You don't even have time to react to that one.
no. There's nothing you can do about that.
Speaking of rough here, steps up James Coons.
Tic-tac-toe master.
Yes, yes. I always win in tic-tac-toe.
Wait a second.
Always?
Is this a secret that you haven't told us before? Oh, he gets a completion. Now he's going for second. He's got like another second. And he's out of time. And he gets an immediate out lane for his troubles. Good shooting up top, sir.
Yeah, that was without ever getting a ball to his lower flipper. He got 73,000, whereas Priyanka had tons of ball time and only had 67. Shows you the value of that upper playfield. Brett needs one more. There it is.
That's well done. You know, I gotta say, this playfield sort of looks like Hollywood Heat's playfield, which is the best game that's ever existed in the history of games.
I heard you have a strong love for that game.
Oh my goodness.
Great.
That
great
catch
dive
was live. Look out. All right.
This is bad.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
real
fine.
bad tip.
Terrible.
Shoot the center, Fred.
Okay.
Good shot, Fred.
Hey, thanks.
Clear the drop targets again, Fred.
I can't.
But you can get tic-tac-toe.
It did something.
Nice.
Oh, what should I do now?
Oh,
Well, usually
this
that
looks
is
like
fine.
trouble to me.
Oh, what a save.
Nice take.
Oh, and
Wow.
I think it would have been in had he not nudged.
Yeah, I agree.
Anytime it starts bouncing around and you get those pop bumpers and some sort of action, it's not going to end well. All right, Jake.
Jake can get the extra ball if he can clear those middles, or the drops there. Now he needs to get back to the top.
Get back to the top again. Get back.
He wants to get back to the top.
Oh.
If he can complete that center X, he has a tic-tac-toe.
Look out.
And an extra ball.
And an extra ball, that's right.
But there will be no extra ball. There will be no tic-tac-toe.
At least not this ball. He gets one more crack at it.
All right, Priyanka.
All right.
Save us with tic-tac-toe.
Priyanka's in the same boat.
Drop completion for the win.
Or got it.
Oh, that's good.
Wow,
Nice
Joan,
shooting.
And
took
when it
out
goes-
Joan Rivers right there.
And that should.
Oh, come on. That's so unfair. She does all the work and then she gets rewarded by not getting the play. No. I don't know. I don't know.
It didn't give her the center either. I don't know when she gets that collect.
So there's 2 lights in the top left that alternate. One is the center.
The others, yeah.
And I can't
It's
remember
like
what
2
the
and 7. 3 and 7 maybe. But I don't think it didn't look like she got either of them.
Look out.
Nope.
Oh.
Wrong nudge.
I think our broadcaster's about to rage tilt this machine.
Such anger, man, I tell you.
I know. I could see the rage is building.
Pinball's supposed to be fun, people. Come on, what's going on?
Serenity now, James.
Serenity now, insanity later.
You guys look like people having a 10-hour poker tournament. Nobody's
We know you're
nobody's
because you're
ever
not
happy there.
concentrating on your shots, Fred. Here's a question from the chat room. Are there any strategies for working around pop bumpers?
Working around pop bumpers?
Yeah, avoid them.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's sort of like just anytime you see something dangerous, be aware of it. And that applies to many things in life besides pinball. But, you know, in pinball, it's very true. Like, if there's a dangerous place in the playfield, try to shoot somewhere where you're not going to hit it. Or you could be like Fred and just fire your ball right into the bottom of it.
Who cares?
Like, if your goal is to hit that 1, 2, 3 up at the top, you're just
That was awful.
Dealing with pop bumpers.
Well, yeah, I guess
You
you're
know,
going to have to, right?
There's a reason why for 50 years every game pretty much has them somewhere, with few exceptions. It's because the person who built the game wants the, you know,
wants there to be a
they
random.
they want to earn their money and they want you to lose. So, in some capacity, add a little fun to the mix. But you know, it's the erratic nature of pop bumpers that tend to lead to drains. But you know, with skillful nudging and knowing where on that pop bumper a ball is going to hit, you can sometimes use that to your advantage and get a little action, you know, especially when they're located at the top of the play field. In this case, maybe trying to get some drop targets or stand-ups.
Oh, so Pete, it looks like Jake went ahead and got that extra ball.
He did. He got the win, and then he promptly just threw it right down the middle. He was
Wow.
celebrating.
He didn't want it to go too long.
The curse of the extra ball.
So just to remind everybody, on Saturday, Steve Bowden will be joining us here in a combination effort of the replay effects and Deep Root. We will be presenting all of the Pinburg games from the main banks, and they will be played all on the same day and hopefully the same broadcast. And we'll see how much endurance Steve really has.
Join us at 10 a.m. when Steve starts his day off with an exciting game of Baywatch.
Have we decided that's the first game? But, you know, I'd like to give thanks, though, to all the local players who over the past many months have come down to help play test all these games and make sure they check out okay. All of the techs, we've got a great number of local techs here. Some who've been working with PAPA for years, and others through the local tech classes that we've been offering with the help of Jake and a few of the others here, have learned how to work on games just over the last few months, and have just made that experience a whole lot easier on the whole staff.
The community is getting bigger, and if you want to help out with something to do with the Replay FX show, we can use your help. So don't be afraid to reach out to any one of us.
There's an email for that, John.
There is an email. I mean, you know.
Volunteer at replayfx.org. And if you have some extra time that week,
3 times.
we've got plenty of spaces we can use people.
Yeah.
Whether you live here in Pittsburgh or are coming from halfway across the country.
Or if
and
you
there is some compensation for that as well.
Right, there's a whole compensation, and that's laid out all on the website there. You can
Right.
get information on that. So let's see if Fred can get some redemption here. This is Fred's final.
Oh my gosh.
His final opportunity for redemption.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I think that's good enough right there.
No, that was real, man. That was real.
Apparently the game wants Fred to have redemption.
No, my skills want redemption.
Don't trash talk the machine.
Apparently, trash talking the machines is what is working for him.
The gate is open.
Yeah.
That's your goal, Fred. Use their gate.
Yeah. Flip that up and over.
That's bad.
Nice.
So Fred, you need whatever gives you shot 1, X number
That's
1.
the 4 drop targets on the left.
4 drop targets on the left?
Yeah, the white ones.
Yep.
I don't
The
know how many
dangerous
there-
ones that you probably shouldn't shoot for.
I'm not going to get a chance to shoot them because of stupid gravity.
Gravity.
Darn it.
Gravity.
There's
Fred.
in this version of time travel, there is still gravity. So we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Reminder about our upcoming broadcast: we will be on this Saturday with Steve, and we will be doing the Pinburg games. Then we will also be doing the Pinburg finals on July 28th. Then the 29th, we will be doing the Intergalactic Pinball finals and also the Women's International final rounds. So thanks for joining us, everybody, and from the entire crew here at PAPAtv Live, we'd like to say thank you and have a great evening and happy flipping.